is coming. Good morning, my dear students. So today I bring to you in front of you a very interesting topic, that is thalamus. Okay, so today's topic is thalamus. So what is thalamus? You should know. So thalamus is a group of gray matter which is situated at the lower part of the each cerebral hemisphere. Okay, so it's a group of gray matter which locates at the lower level of the each cerebral hemisphere, and which plays a very important role in sensory motor coordination. Can you understand? So it is divided into, there are two thalami on each side at present at the lower part of the each cerebral hemisphere. So each thalami is divided into so many nucleus because of presence of white laminar structure, Y-shaped white laminar structure. So thalamus plays important role in sensory motor coordination, and not actually it is also relay station for the sensations. It's a relay center for all type of sensations in the human body, and also helps in the subcortical perception of various pain sensation, temperature and pressure. So thalamus is nothing but a egg-like structure. Thalamus is an egg-like structure egg-shaped structure which is present at the base of each cerebral hemisphere, and there are two thalami on each side which is divided in by third ventricle, and it's a group of gray matter present at the lower part of the cerebral hemisphere, and it is divided into two thalami by third ventricle. So third ventricle will divide the thalamus into two thalami. Okay, so there are two thalami on the two sides, and it's an egg-like structure, and it is a group of gray matter present at the base of cerebral hemisphere. And it is divided into two thalami by third ventricle. Okay, so it is also very near to the lateral ventricle. And it is divided into two thalami by third ventricle, and it is present at the lower base of the lower part of the cerebral hemisphere, and it is a group of gray matter. Okay, so one of the important role is that it is a relay center of the sensation, in the relay center of the sensation of the human brain. Relay center, all the sensory sensations are transmitted to cortex via this thalamus. Okay, so not only in sensory activity, but they have also important role in motor activity also. So again I am telling, it is an egg-like structure. It is a group of gray matter which is present at the lower base of the each cerebral hemisphere. So there are two thalami. Each thalami is divided into two thalami. Thalamus is divided into two thalami by third ventricle. Okay, and it plays important role as a relay center of the brain. All the sensory informations are transmitted to the cerebral cortex via the thalamus, and also it plays important role in motor activity. Now let's focus on the various nucleus of the thalami. Thalamic nuclei. Now you should know that it's an egg-like structure, and there are two stripe and Y-shaped white lamina. The whole thalamus, which is an egg-like structure or round structure, oval in shape, which is divided into various parts called nuclei by a Y-shaped lamina. So it is a Y-shaped white matter which is divided into various. It will divide the whole thalami into various parts or various nucleus, and these nuclei has lots of subdivisions. and based on these divisions and positions and locations, they are connected with various important structure of the brain like cerebral cortex, basal ganglia, then amygdala, other parts of the brain, and plays important role in sensory and motor activity and other activities also. So this, for better understanding and subdivisions of thalamic nuclei, is very much important for you to understand how the thalamus plays important role in connecting with various structures of the brain and how they play important role in sensory and motor activity. Okay, so let's know what are the various important divisions. Number one is anterior nuclei. So there is one important nuclei known as anterior nuclei or anterior group of nuclei. Next one is medial nuclei. Medial group of nuclei. Medial group of nuclei. This is the anterior group. This is the medial group. Then lies the very important lateral group. For better understanding, I should give it. Thalamic nucleus is divided into anterior nuclei or anterior group of nuclei, then medial group, medial nuclei, then lateral nuclei, then midline nuclei, then intralaminar nuclei, some say reticular nuclei, RN. Reticular nuclei is also a part of thalamic nuclei. So anterior nuclei is divided into anteroventral, anterodorsal. So anterior nuclei is divided into anteroventral, anterodorsal and anteromedial. And medial nuclei is divided into dorsomedial nuclei. Is divided into dorsomedial nuclei. And lateral group is again divided into ventral tier and dorsal tier. It is divided into ventral tier and dorsal tier. So ventral tier is again divided into ventroanterior, ventroanterior, ventroposterior, then medial, metathalamus, which is divided into medial geniculate body, lateral geniculate body. Okay. And ventroposterior is again divided into ventroposterior, medial, ventroposterior, lateral. And dorsal tier is divided into lateral dorsal, LD, lateral posterior, and one is pulvinar nuclei. Okay, so that is the classification of various nucleus of thalamus. So actually thalamus is a egg-like structure, and Y-shaped white matter lamina divide the thalamus into various nuclei, anterior, medial, lateral nuclei, So it is the thalamus. This is the Y-shaped structure. It will divide the anterior, medial and lateral. So this is the thalamus. So this is the thalamus. It will divide the whole thalamus into the Y-shaped structure divide the thalamus into anterior, medial and lateral group of nuclei. Okay. Now this thalamic nuclei is again divided into anterior group of nuclei, medial group of nuclei, lateral group of nuclei, midline group of nuclei, intralaminar group of nuclei, reticular nuclei and epithalamus. Pineal body is a part of epithalamus, or we can call pineal body as epithalamus. The anterior nuclei is again divided into anteroventral, anterodorsal and anteromedial. Can you understand? The anterior nuclei which plays important role, anterior nuclei or anterior group of nuclei or anterior thalamus forms a part of very important role of limbic system. You know, limbic system is a part of a subcortical structure which plays important role in emotions and memory. So anterior nuclei is a part of Pepys circuit of memory. So you should not forget this. Anterior group of nuclei is divided into anteroventral, anterodorsal and anteromedial, and this anterior nuclei forms a part of Pepys circuit and plays important role in emotions. And this is the medial nuclei. It is divided into only one group of nuclei known as dorsomedial nucleus. Then lateral group of nuclei is divided into ventral tier and dorsal tier. So again I am telling lateral nuclei is very much important. There are three important group of nuclei: anterior nuclei, medial nuclei and lateral nuclei. So lateral nuclei is subdivided into ventral tier and dorsal tier. DT means dorsal tier, VT means ventral tier. So ventral tier is again divided into ventroanterior, ventral posterior and metathalamus. Can you understand? Ventral anterior, ventral posterior and metathalamus. Now ventral anterior, ventral posterior is again divided into ventroposterior, medial, ventroposterior, lateral. Can you understand? And there is another one known as VT. VL means ventrolateral. So there are ventral group is divided into ventrolateral, ventroanterior, ventroposterior and metathalamus. Ventroposterior is again divided into ventroposterior medial and ventroposterior lateral. Can you understand? And again I am telling lateral nuclei divided into ventral tier and dorsal tier. Ventral tier is again divided into ventroanterior, ventrolateral, ventroposterior and metathalamus. Ventroposterior is again divided into ventroposterior medial and ventroposterior lateral. And metathalamus is again divided into medial geniculate body, lateral geniculate body. Can you understand? And now comes the dorsal tier. Dorsal tier of the lateral nuclei is divided into lateral dorsal, lateral posterior and pulvinar group of nuclei. Can you understand? So dorsal tier of nuclei of lateral nuclei is divided into LD, lateral dorsal, lateral posterior and pulvinar nuclei. Can you understand? After the lateral nuclei lies the midline nuclei. This is also very much important. And next lies the intralaminar nuclei. This intralaminar nuclei stimulation is responsible for synchronization of EEG, electroencephalograph. Can you understand? So these plays important role in EEG synchronization, intralaminar nuclei. And next come the reticular nuclei. This also plays important role in motor activity. And last but not the least is epithalamus, which is nothing but pineal body. Okay, so whole thalamic nuclei is divided into anterior group, medial group, lateral group, midline group, intralaminar group, reticular group, epithalamus, which is nothing but pineal body. And out of this lateral group we have so much divisions: ventral group and dorsal tier. Ventral group is divided into ventrolateral, ventroanterior, ventroposterior, metathalamus. And dorsal group is divided into lateral dorsal, lateral posterior and pulvinar nuclei. Okay, so there we finish the important role of various subdivisions of thalamic nuclei and their important role. So anterior nuclei, anteroventral, anterodorsal, anteromedial. This anterior nuclei plays important role in emotions because it forms a part of Pepys circuit and forms important role in memory and emotions of the human, in case of human beings. And medial nucleus also plays important role lateral nuclei in sensory motor coordination, especially the ventroposterior medial, ventroposterior lateral plays important role in relay center. They play important role in relay centers of the pain perception. Okay, so they play important role in subcortical perceptions. Okay, so that's the role of lateral nuclei. Now we'll shift to connections of the various connections of thalamus. So we know thalamus is one of the important structure which plays important role in sensory motor coordination, sensory perception, motor activities, EEG synchronization, and it is the relay center of the brain. Can you understand? So almost all the sensory impulse are travel to the thalamus before it travels to cortex. So from the thalamus, through projections known as thalamocortical projections, it is transmitted to cortex, from where the sensory informations are carried to the cortex and they are better analyzed. Can you understand? So they plays important role in sensory motor coordination and important relay center of the brain for all type of sensations. Okay. So for that, how it is done? Suppose this is thalamus. This is thalamus and these are the input. Let's see what are the various input structure. So most important input structure is cerebral cortex or CC. We can call cerebral cortex is very much important structure which gives input to the thalamus. Okay. Next important structure is amygdala. Next important structure which gives input to the thalamus is basal ganglia. Then any other important structure? There is red nucleus. Red nucleus also is a part of basal ganglia. So it also gives special type of, it's called dendrito-rubro-thalamic tract. Dendrito-rubro-thalamic tract or rubro-thalamic projections. Then next is DN. DN means dentate nucleus, which is part of cerebellum. Dentate nucleus. Then comes ascending reticular fibers. Is also called ascending reticular fibers. Then all the sensory tracts. All sensory tracts except olfaction. Okay. So these are the various inputs to the thalamus. Number 1 is cerebral cortex, number 2 is amygdala, number 3 is basal ganglia, number 4 is red nucleus, number 5 is dentate nucleus, number 6 is ascending reticular fiber, which is an important structure, plays important role in sleep, making the person aroused and awake. So a person is, human beings are arousal or in the awake state is because of ascending reticular formation fibers, which is present in the brain stem actually. So these ascending reticular fibers also has projection to the thalamus. And ultimately from thalamus it is projected to cortex and makes the cortex stimulated and aroused. Can you understand? So that is response. So ultimately through these ascending reticular fibers, it is responsible for passing to the thalamus. It makes the cortex activated and person remain in awake state or arousal state. So it is thalamus plays important role in by arousal phenomena. Next, what are the output of the brain? So output from the thalamus is again cerebral cortex. Another important is basal ganglia, BG, then amygdala also. So output to the is cerebral cortex, amygdala. Then next one is hypothalamus. Then important structure known as cingulate gyrus. Okay. So these are the various, these are the input and these are the output. These are the input to the thalamus and these are the output from the thalamus. So let's see what are the various inputs. So from cerebral cortex, all the informations are projected to the thalamus. So cerebral cortex and thalamus is very much correlated. You should know thalamus, cerebral cortex is divided into sensory cortex, motor cortex, association cortex and other areas also. So this cortex plays important role by having its separate projections to thalamus. So all the informations. So thalamus and cerebral cortex plays important role in sensory motor coordination. Again, thalamus is also the projection to the cerebral cortex. So all the sensory fibers tracks except olfaction. Olfaction sensation means sense of smell. Other than all the sensations, special senses and sensory sensations like pain, temperature, pressure, all are transmitted to thalamus. From there, it through thalamocortical projections or thalamocortical fibers, it releases the information to the cerebral cortex and is responsible for stimulation of corresponding areas. Sensory fibers will ultimately stimulate the sensory cortex. Motor fibers will ultimately stimulate the motor cortex. So motor cortex also give information to the thalamus, and thus cerebro-thalamocortical loops is there. These cerebrocortical thalamic loops plays important role in what they play in sensory motor coordination. Can you understand? So all the sensations except olfaction, pain, temperature, pressure are transmitted to cortex. From cortex again they are analyzed and again information will be given back to the cerebral cortex, and thus this forms a loop between the thalamocortical loop, and this loop plays important role in sensory motor coordination and also perception of senses. Can you understand? Next important role is amygdala. As if all of you know, amygdala is also is an important part of Pepet circuit. This is called extended Pepet circuit, and it also forms a part of limbic system. Limbic system plays an important role in emotions. So all any emotional activity will be or emotional related sensation will be carried to the thalamus via amygdalo-thalamic fibers. From amygdala to thalamus, any fibers are there. From these thalamic fibers will be analyzed in the thalamus, and ultimately it will be again transferred to the amygdala, and ultimately it will help in response to the emotions. Thalamus also plays in analyzing the relay center for emotional sensations. Can you understand? So it plays important role in emotions, and it's connected to amygdala in either way. Amygdala also give fibers to the thalamus, and thalamus also give fibers to the amygdala. And amygdala is nothing but a part of extended Pepet circuit. Extended Pepet circuit. This extended Pepet circuit is responsible for what? Extended Pepet circuit is responsible for maintenance of emotions of the particular individual. So this amygdala plays important role in Pepet circuit. Can you understand? So amygdala to thalamus projection fibers are there. From thalamus to amygdala again projections are there, and in this way thalamus plays important role in memory and emotions, because amygdala is an important part of emotion in part of extended Pepet circuit. Another important role of amygdala is that it is also responsible for fear center of the brain. It is also is an important part of fear centers of brain. Next important structure is basal ganglia. All of you know basal ganglia is important structure which plays important role in smoothing of movement, planing of movement, anticipation of movement. So it also activity, lots of motor activity. So without basal ganglia, motor activity will be hampered. As in Parkinsonism we see lots of motor deficit. So basal ganglia give information to the thalamus. So there is one pallida, globus pallidus of the thalamus. Globus pallidus of the, globus pallidus of the basal ganglia give information to the thalamus. Whatever information it received, thalamus give information to the cerebral cortex give information to the basal ganglia give information to the thalamus via special type of fibers known as globus pallidothalamic tract. Pallidothalamic tract. Pallidothalamic tract. So basal ganglia has globus pallidus. It is connected with the thalamus and through pallidothalamic tract. And from thalamus again, information will be passes to the basal ganglia, where it will be analyzed, and ultimately it helps in sensory motor coordination. So thalamus also plays important role in motor activity. It also plays important role in sensory motor coordination by its connection with the basal ganglia by a special type of tract known as peridothalamic tract. Next important nuclei is red nuclei. Red nuclei is also a part of basal ganglia, and separately it also plays important role in motor activity. So red nucleus by rubrocorticothalamic tract, it is responsible for giving in motor coordination with the thalamus. Can you understand? So motor information signals will be transmitted to the thalamus by rubrothalamic tract. There is also another tract, rubrocorticothalamic tract, from rubro red nucleus to cerebral cortex, from cortex to thalamus again. So can you understand? So this type of red nucleus plays important role in motor activity by its connection with the thalamus. Next important nuclei that plays important role in motor activity is dentate nucleus, which is nothing but a nuclei of cerebellum. So cerebellum is connected via dentate nucleus with the thalamus. Can you understand? So can you understand, cerebellum is an important structure which plays important role in motor learning, which plays important role in motor activity, in fine movements, planning of movements, anticipation of movements, smoothing of movements, programming of movements. So it plays important role in motor activity. So cerebellum, once it analyzes the motor, get motor signals from the cerebral cortex, it passes to the thalamus, and thus it is related with the help in sensory motor coordinations. Can you understand? Thus we can see basal ganglia, cerebellum, motor cortex and thalamus, they are connected. So via the cerebellum, basal ganglia and thalamus, they forms a circuit, and this circuit plays important role in sensory motor coordination. Can you understand? Again, we can see that all sensory tracts except olfaction also give inputs to the thalamus. So all the sensory fiber tract like pressure tract, pain tracts carrying ascending fibers, almost all the ascending fibers, pain carrying fibers, temperature carrying fiber, root touch carrying fibers are integrated at the level of thalamus. So that's why thalamus is called the relay center of the brain. It transmitted almost all the important sensory information except olfaction. The special type of senses, that is olfaction, is not transmitted. Otherwise all type of sensation is transmitted via the thalamus. So it is also known as relay center of the brain, but except olfaction, that is sense of smell, is not carried via thalamus. Can you understand? That's why all the sensory tracts also have their projections or inputs to the thalamus. Can you understand? All the sensory tracts like pain fibers, pain tracts, ascending anterolateral spinothalamic tract are integrated at the level of ventromedial nucleus and VPL and VPL. BPM and BTL, ventroposterior and ventroposterior lateral nucleus of the thalamus, and from there it is projected to the cerebral cortex for further analysis. Can you understand? So that's why I am telling that all sensory tracts also have their projections to the thalamus. Next important, I told you, dentate nucleus. So there is an important tract known as dentatocerebellocorticothalamic tract. So for cerebellocorticothalamic tract means cerebellum via dentate nucleus give direct information to the cerebral cortex. From cortex it goes to thalamus, or directly also dentate nucleus, which is nothing but a nuclei of cerebellum, give projection to the thalamus, and thus it helps in motor coordination or sensory motor coordinations via the dentate nucleus, which is a part of cerebellum. Can you understand? So cerebellum and thalamus, they are also connected by the dentatothalamic fibers, which is now the dentate nucleus is a part of cerebellum, and cerebellum, which plays important role in motor learning, motor activity, coordinates with the thalamus, which is a relay center of the brain of all the sensations. So thus it helps in sensory motor coordination. Now let's see, thalamus has also projected with by basal ganglia. Basal ganglia also plays in motor activity. So from sensory information from the thalamus also projected to basal ganglia, and thus it plays important role in motor activity. Amygdala, as I told you, is a part of Pepys circuit, extended Pepys circuit. Thus amygdala is a part of extended Pepys circuit and plays important role in emotion. So thalamus plays important role in emotion along with the Pepys amygdala. Then hypothalamus is nothing but the head ganglion of the autonomic nervous system. It is a head ganglion of autonomic nervous system. So thalamus also responsible for stimulation of hypothalamus and manifestation of the internal state of human body. Can you understand? So if there is a pain, severe pain is carried to the thalamus, it will immediately stimulate the hypothalamus, and ultimately autonomic changes will be, activity will be there in response to severe pain stimulus. Can you understand? So thus thalamus also responsible for stimulation of hypothalamus and external and in manifestation of the autonomic nervous system is also there because of thalamo-hypothalamic fibers. Next one is cingulate gyrus. Cingulate gyrus is a structure which is subcortical structure which is a part of the Pepys circuit. So the thalamus also give part in projection fibers to the cingulate gyrus and stimulate the Pepys circuit and responsible for emotion of the particular individual. Next, the mammillary body. Mammillary body is also responsible for some part of the memory of the particular individual and through mammillothalamic tract. Via mammillothalamic tract, thalamus and mammillary body are also connected. Again I am saying hypothalamus is also a part of hypothalamus, cingulate gyrus, amygdala. These three structure is also is a part of Pepys circuit. Can you understand? So we can understand that thalamus is also very much important role in emotions and memory of a particular individual. Can you understand? And again I am telling thalamus is connected to the cerebral cortex in various parts of the cerebral cortex, plus sensory cortex, motor cortex and association cortex. So thalamus is connected to cerebral cortex, to sensory cortex for sensory information, to motor cortex for motor coordination, and for association cortex for speech and language. So association cortex of the cerebral cortex is also connected with the thalamus for special type of function known as speech and language. So thalamus also plays important role in speech and language of a particular individual. Again I am telling the ascending reticular fibers also give projection to the thalamus. This ascending reticular fibers is responsible for arousal phenomena, making a particular individual arouse or prevention of sleep. Can you understand? So ascending reticular fibers give information to the thalamus. From thalamus it activates the cerebral cortex and ultimately whole cerebrum will be activated and prevents the person from going into a state of sleep. So ascending reticular fibers is also responsible for making the, by its working to thalamus, plays important role in arousal phenomena. Can you understand? So we can see that all the connections of the thalamus with various structures plays important role in sensory motor coordination, emotion, sleep and awake cycle, motor activity, sensory activity and all those things. Can you understand? So better try to understand from this diagram that how thalamus plays important role in coordination and it plays important role in connections. So there are thalamocortical fibers, then amygdalothalamic fibers, pallidothalamic tracts, rubro-thalamic tracts, dentato-rubro-corticothalamic tracts, then ascending fibers, mammillothalamic tracts. All these are connected, which gives connections of thalamus to various structures and plays important role in various functions of thalamus. Can you understand? Now let's we move to functions of thalamus. What are the functions